From the 13 who started out in search of a place in the final, these are the 6 who've made it through to the medal challenge for the men's lightweight pairs. France won this title a year ago. Right on the far side, Stefan Luscher and Bernd Stomporowski for Germany in lane number 1. Then lane 2, Chile, who were bronze medalists, this pair, a year ago. Then Italy, silver medalist, different partnership this time though. Stefano Bassolini, the man in the bow, the man who a year ago won the lightweight single sculls title. Ireland, that's Neville Maxwell and Anthony O'Connor. Anthony in the stroke seat. France, Jean-Baptiste Dupuy, he's in with the man who won this last year, Jean-Christophe Bett, the man in the stroke seat. And then Denmark, Jesper Kroch and Morten, I should say, Hansen for Denmark. Now that gives you a really good idea of just what it's like.
Yeah, these kind of conditions are even tougher for lightweights. I mean, it just slows that race down, but Denmark getting off pretty well there in that first few strokes. Got a lot of experience in the Irish pair, but you can see how they're rolling around, finding it very, very difficult because the water builds up over the course, and down on the start there with a headwind there, it really makes it very, very rough for those first 250 meters.
And that was really interesting there because the Italians suddenly, they were almost in the lead and then just got held back. And it's the water conditions that are making it really tough, particularly in the first quarter of the race. It seems to be rougher there than at any other part of the regatta course.
In the far side there, Stomporowski, in the German boat there in the stroke seat. Multi medals. He's been one of the stalwarts of lightweight rowing in Germany. The Irish pair at the moment hitting the front there and just dealing with this rough water by whacking their legs down and making sure they stay clean at the finish of the stroke and don't get caught in.
This is typical Irish tactics, though, to go out very fast and try and stay there all the way. Whether they can do that, we'll see.
Yes, this Irish pair, they usually do a 4, but unfortunately due to illness and injury, they've had to go back into the pair. They've been pretty successful in this event before, and it's a surprise because it means next year they're going to have to try and qualify the 4 because they don't have a 4 here.
So it's Ireland and Italy just into second place, and then on the near side you can see the bow of the French boats. It was Vincent Montebel who was in the boat with Jean-Christophe Bett last year when they took the title, but now it's another young man, 19-year-old Jean-Baptiste Dupuy, who's got the responsibility of trying to retain this title for France through the first quarter. And that really is a very decisive start there, Dan. I mean, they've got clear water more than a length over the field, but can they keep this going?
Well, they're looking okay. They look as if that's the sort of rate they like to work at. Italy in second place, over a length behind. But remember, Italy have great finishers, and Bassolini, he's a very, very eccentric and funny character, and he's got great spirit. So I wouldn't write them off at the moment.
So Ireland, and they're opening up ahead of Italy, and that's Stefano Bassolini and Paolo Pitino who are in second place.
Yeah, Stefano was in the single last year and he won the singles event, but he seemed quite happy to be in the pairs this year, and he seemed very encouraged about how they were doing, and he was talking about winning this event to me earlier in the week.
Well, I'm sure he'd want to do that. It would be a good consolation, but surely he's a man who'll be trying to look for a place in the lightweight doubles. The only problem about that, Dan, is that there's Mr. Crispy and Mr. Pettinari, to mention just 2, who are at least as good as Mr. Bassolini.
Yeah, well, Mr. Bassolini is going to be looking for a place in the 4, I should think, during the winter. This pair looking pretty strong there, very typical leg drive with the Italian boats. They keep their heads down, lots of leg drive there, and then the use of the back at the end of the stroke. But they sit back there and they drive it through the second half of the stroke, finish it off and into the headwind. That allows the boat to run well. France here just trying to get back on terms there with the leaders, but Ireland looking pretty comfortable out there in front. Experienced pair, really flowing along very nicely in their Stamford boat, and they're moving into the 1,000-meter mark, pretty untroubled and a length and a half ahead.
Yes, the German's not showing at all in lane 1. Bernd Stomporowski, the boyfriend of Katrin Rutschau, in their own way, both personalities and both characters.
Yeah, they don't look like they're going to get caught. There's a lot of strength, a lot of experience, but it's Italy still sitting there about a length and a half behind and moving away from the rest of the field.
Italy in a very definite second place now. And then on the far side, now this is really interesting. Look at the Chileans, and they were nowhere earlier on. They were down in fourth place through the first half of the race, and they are really moving forward. That's Christian Yantani and Miguel Cerda, and this is really good work because they're really going with the Italians, and this is a great performance here from the Chileans.
Great performance, because that is not a very fanciful lane there, but they're very horizontal in the way they were. Look at that stroke, man. It's just leg drive there and real power through the middle of the stroke. They're moving very well indeed, really stuck in there, and they are holding on to the Italians very well. And these two crews now putting a bit of pressure now on Ireland as they pass the boat tents.
Well, these three are away from the rest, and Ireland, well, I suppose you'd say that you'd give them odds-on chance from here on in, but it's not over until you get to the line, and the Italians now beginning to raise the rate again now, and they really do look good now. The Italians are beginning to really sharpen up, and they are looking much better now.
It's to swap from sculling to rowing and from sculling back to rowing, it's very hard to do. And you've got here Basilini really showing his class, the class he showed last year when he won the single. Yeah, just moved into the rowing side there, into this pair, and now under pressure though from Chile. These two crews still holding on to Ireland as they move into the last part of the race.
What a great scrap out there. It's worth mentioning though, you talk about Basilini being talented, being, you know, a great winner, but also Bettino, when you consider medal back in 90 in the lightweight quad, and also in 96 and 97 and 98, he's a man who's used to winning, so they're not going to give in easily here. And you've got Chile in lane 2 and Italy in lane 3, and it could well be that these two scrapping out are going to draw themselves closer and closer to the Irish. There's Bettino facing you now. Interesting man, actually born in France, but represents Italy.
Italy just beginning to move out a little bit. Oh, look at them moving on the Irish there. They've closed that gap. They're overlapping now, Ireland. Chile taking a quick look across. They're hanging on to Italy. It's these three crews now.
I'll tell you what, those two Chileans look really strong. I don't think they're going to give in here easily, and of course they'll feel that they're getting closer to the Irish as well, so that'll give them a little bit of heart as well. So at the moment it's Ireland who had clear water, more than a length, and now the overlap's on, and it's on in a big way because it's almost down to half a length now, and the Irish are really struggling now, and I don't think they've got a great deal more to give.
Ireland now getting quite a bit shorter. They're beginning to hack at it as Italy starts to pull them back. Italy up to 42. Italy at 42 strokes a minute. Ireland under a lot of pressure, shortening up, finding it difficult to hold on. And here comes Italy.
Also, here comes Chile. Look at this. What a race to the line now. And it's the Irish being eaten up by the Italians, but the Chileans are still coming as well. And it's three boats. It's a three-boat war. And the Italians have got ahead of the men on the near side, Ireland, and they're now being hosed down by the Chileans who've got through and are chasing the Italians, and the Italians have got gold, the Chileans have got silver, and the Irish, well, it's lucky they were as far ahead as they were because they've ended up with the bronze.
Well, that was an incredible comeback from Italy. Remember the double just a little while ago, how that double came back from so far back, 4.5 seconds faster. This was the same kind of thing. That was an extraordinary last 500 meters from Italy. A fantastic, powerful piece of rowing at 43.5 strokes a minute.